Was it last month? There was a PFN biennial conference in Abuja, and I was invited as one of the speakers.
In this video, Reverend Omolehin shared an experience of something shocking that happened to him in the recent PFN conference that was held in Abuja. He shared his experience, what happened in that conference that a lot of people didn't know, and all that. Let's watch this video.
In Dublin, where I was last week, St. Patrick is all over the town, signboards and so on and so forth. St. Patrick is a Roman Catholic priest, and he ordered all the snakes in the Republic of Ireland to gather, and they gathered. And he ordered all of them to crawl into the sea, and they did. The Republic of Ireland is the only country in the world today that has no snake. A man of God crawled them into the sea, and he's a Roman Catholic. Mommy and I were passing through Paris on Monday. And Mommy pointed to the wall and said, "See the picture of Father Dennis." Father Dennis. Father Dennis was a Roman Catholic clergyman, and he used to come to preach in a square in Paris, dressed in his cassock. And one man walked up to him and said, "Don't come here to preach again. We don't want to see you around here. Don't come and talk about Bible here." And Father Dennis would not hear. The last time Father Dennis preached in the square in Paris, the man arrived with a knife and was sitting to one side of the square and sharpening his knife while Father Dennis was preaching. The noise of the sharpener will attract Father Dennis all the time, so he takes a glance at him. And the man also takes a glance at him. "You will soon hear from me." And then he will be sharpening. And when he was done with the sharpening, he sharpened it so sharply, but he didn't want to throw the knife twice. So he went to Father Dennis and told him, "We've told you not to come here to preach. You refuse." Wham! One swing. Father Dennis' head dropped down. And Father Dennis himself picked his head in his hands. And the head continued to preach. And the head was saying, "I have not finished talking." The man put his knife down and ran away. And Father Dennis carried his head in his hands and trekked for miles. And his head was still preaching in his hand, until blood finished in the body of Father Dennis and he collapsed and died with his head in his hand. You go to Paris today, you ask of the blood street. The blood street is that street where the blood of Father Dennis stained the whole road till he died. And where he died, the Roman Catholic people went and built a cathedral there and put a sculpture of Father Dennis in front of that cathedral with his head in his hands. So when you Pentecostals are talking about signs and wonders, the Roman Catholic people are laughing. And so much has been, and is that not the same Roman Catholic today that churning out millions of dollars to pacify abused members? This house is collapsing. And there is the need for God to raise people to address the body. Sometimes rehabilitation, restructuring, repairs can be very costly. to return us to former state, to ask that the house be put in a rehabilitation, get workers to remove the roofing sheet that is leaking and put another one, strengthen the pillars, and so on and so forth. It's a great work. The kind of ministry that we're gathering around this morning is a great work. And I have wept and wept on this because there are more who are damaging it than those who are repairing it. Those who are damaging it have the social media to their advantage. They have money to their advantage. They have education to their advantage. They have seized the front lines of public news and media. Those who are repairing it don't have money. Those who are repairing it are conservative. Those who are repairing it are looked at as primitive. So the damage to the house of God, those who are repairing it, they are fewer than those who are damaging it. Those who are damaging it are doing it daily, day and night. And they are not stopping. To have this man volunteering to throw himself into the repair network is a very daring one. People in repair ministry are hated. People in repair ministry, they are hated. Because there are those who are benefiting from the spoilage. And they don't want to see repairers around. Was it last month? There was a PFN biennial conference in Abuja. And I was invited as one of the speakers. So I got there. I was to speak on a Thursday and a Friday. And then one of the officials walked up to me and said, sorry, sir, the way this meeting is going, we might not be able to accommodate your message today. Please, we would move you to tomorrow, please. I said, okay. Then they went and announced to the public that Reverend Omolehin is here, but he will not be able to speak today. He will speak tomorrow. Then there was a noise across the auditorium. So I arrived again early the next day and sat down, waiting to be called. They called 4 people to speak. Some of these people spoke yesterday. And then an official again walked up to me and said, in fact, the way this meeting is going, sir, sorry, sir, we will not be able to allow you to speak. I returned to Ilorin without speaking. That's where we are now. At my age, look at me. Where is my senior among them? I was skimmed out. They brought me. They were the ones who even came to the airport to pick me. They lodged me in the hotel. And I got to the meeting and they didn't let me speak. But that's not an issue to me because I am not looking for a place to preach. Not at all. I am overwhelmed. I'm a global spiritual personality as I speak. So I'm not looking for where PFN will put me to preach. No. But for that to happen to me tells me about the state of the church. People in the repair work are endangered species. Because there are those who don't want, they are making money from the way it is. They are the ones who, the Pharisees, they are the ones who killed Jesus. Because when Jesus came and was bringing new stuff, and Jesus was becoming more popular, and the status quo was not was people are moving away from the status quo. They saw Jesus as a threat and they eliminated him. So as you see me, I'm now becoming very selective in the kind of places I go.
Now, Reverend Omolehin is one of the very few that when you listen to him, there's always something to learn. He is also a man that is not afraid of anybody, a man that speaks truth, or you can even say a man that speaks truth to power when necessary. Now, he shared his experience, what happened to him in a recent PFN conference where he was invited. They lodged him in a hotel and all that. Brought him to the venue. He couldn't speak in the first day. Second day, the same thing, even though he was announced. Now, he himself is, he's feeling like, okay, the reason why I was not allowed to speak is because they are probably scared of what I'm going to say. And like I said earlier, he is one man that is not afraid of saying certain things. Speaking truth, right? Or what may actually make a lot of people uncomfortable. He is one man that speaks a lot against the prosperity gospel or the monetization of the gospel or whatever you want to call it. He speaks, a lot of his videos are on social media, on YouTube particularly, on such topics. He's a critique of the prosperity gospel or the monetization of the gospel. So he believes somehow that him preaching in that conference, maybe what we call in the local parlance shaking of table, right? He's going to shake a lot of table, and nobody knows what will happen and all that. So he believes. So it may not be the case though, but he somehow believes that for him to have been invited from Ilorin up down to that conference and not being allowed to speak for whatever reason, right? Maybe there was a change of plan or something. But the bottom line is that he believes that he was not allowed to speak basically because of maybe they know him as someone that is a critique of the prosperity gospel, right? There's nothing wrong with prosperity gospel, right? For a lot of people, there's nothing wrong with it. And for a lot of people, there's something wrong with it. What do you guys think? Do you think that was the reason why he was not allowed to preach in that conference? Drop a comment in the comment section.